This Shabbos is Shabbos Chazak, and the Rebbe is going to explain to us in this Sicha from Tafshin and Aleph how the Parshias this week, Matais and Maseh, teach us how to have true inner strength. How can we achieve strength even in the face of darkness and really shine our light in every aspect of our lives? So the first thing is to understand what real strength truly is. So we have the number 1, which is about the light of Kedusha, and it's only light. Then comes the number 2, which symbolizes opposition. There's the darkness that's opposing the light, and that's where there's division. The number 3 is when we have the light of Kedusha overpowering and winning even in the face of darkness, and ultimately transforming the darkness also into light. How do we get there? So we look at the Parshias, Matais and Maseh. So Matais clearly is about strength. We see in the word Mata, it's a stick, it's about discipline and rulership. Maseh seems to be not about strength. It's about traveling from one place to another. A person is completely uprooted from his normal place. Obviously, it is about strength because we say Chazak only after Maseh specifically. So what is it? So the Rebbe explains there are 2 ways of strength. There's the strength that comes from above, down here, and then there's a strength that comes in an upward way from down here, moving up. We see this clearly in each parsha. Matais, we see Hashem is shining his light down here. It's mitzad ha'elyon, as it says, Zeh hadavar asher tziva Hashem. That when Hashem commands the Yidden to do a mitzvah, he's shining his light down here into our neshama, and that's the desire of the neshama to fulfill Hashem's commandments. And that's this unlimited, really powerful light. So that's one way of strength. The second way of strength is shown in the parsha of Maseh, which is about the Avaida of Yidden down here. It's working below with the darkness. As we see in the parsha, it says, Eila Maseh b'nei Yisrael asher yatzu me'eretz Mitzrayim. These are the travels of the Yidden from Mitzrayim, meaning the Yidden are leaving behind the darkness, moving one step forward and another step forward and another step forward till they finally reach Eretz Yisrael, which is a place of only Kedusha. And this is really working with the darkness to transform it within themselves until they're ready to be in total Kedusha. Now, like we said, Chazak comes specifically after Parshas Maseh, because Maseh is really a much deeper strength. It's working with the darkness and really transforming it. However, this is limited. The light of Kedusha used here is limited. The strength is limited, and therefore there can be the opposition coming back. It's not necessarily everlasting, and therefore we need this unlimited light as well. We need the idea of Matais together with Maseh in order to achieve the everlasting transformation that doesn't ever stop. This connects with the 3 weeks. Like we know, we're waiting for the 3rd Beis HaMikdash, which is, again, the number 3. It's the ultimate level of Kedusha. And then in the Sicha, the Rebbe explains how this connects to number 4 and number 5. We're heading into the 4th, from the 4th Sefer into the 5th, and as well as the months of the year, which the Rebbe explains 4 and 5 are even higher levels of strength. As we know, a chair with 3 legs, you can't compare it to the sturdiness of a chair with 4 legs. And then 5 is like completely transcending. It's the level of light that transcends this world. And that's where we're heading, one step at a time. How do we get there? So practically, I wanted to mention this idea that, in order to really transform the darkness, we first need to identify where the darkness is in our lives. Whether it's inside of us or outside of us, sometimes, it might be easier to identify the things that are outside of us. But when it comes to inside our own subconscious thoughts, into my own, thought, speech, and action, where are those places that are really weak, that are places of darkness, that are not serving me well in my relationship with Hashem, with my spouse, with my children? So first by identifying where the darkness is, and then we can transform it. Again, in 2 ways, with this unlimited light, meaning to hold on to the vision of our ultimate goal, and yet at the same time, working with the darkness, meaning to be realistic, taking a step within the nature that can work now to take one step forward towards the ultimate goal. And again, holding on to that unlimited light of that, that light that I know I'm going to get to the ultimate place that I want to get to. And I also wanted to mention another point, that it's so important to look back at the progress that we've made, because sometimes we might get to a place of opposition, so to say, or darkness, and we can feel, feelings of despair, or how am I ever going to get past this? It's impossible. But if we can look back and say, look how far I've come, and look at the miracles, look how Hashem helped me get where I am today in my journey, from one journey to the next, and really, acknowledge the progress that's been made, so then we can have the hope and the motivation to move forward and transform to the next level. So I want to wish us all that we should have the kayach, the ultimate kayach, to transform ourselves and ultimately the entire world, that we should see the light of Mashiach speedily. May it be now. Thank you. Good Shabbos.